5 features of my kitchen that might seem over the top, but actually are super practical and I use them all the time. Welcome back to the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel, where we share all things home with you. So whether you love interior design, whether you're buying a home, whether you're selling your home, whether you're doing a little bit of decoration, if you want all the tips and all the tricks, we are bringing them to you. My name's Lexie Carducci. I'm a property developer, I'm a property finder, and I'm a property content creator. Basically, all things property is where you'll find me. Yes, I'm obsessed, just like you, I'm sure. But today we are going to go through some features in my kitchen. So to give you some context, I've just moved into my new home after a 23-week renovation. It has been a long time coming. So there's so much that I can share with you about my journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, and how much of an experience doing a development, like I'm talking top to toe in my house. We went back to brick. What started off as just replacing a kitchen soon turned into doing a full-on renovation over 23 weeks. So it has been quite the journey. I've learned a lot along the way, even though I've done this for many, many development projects beforehand. That's always been with a different target market as the end goal. So either I'd be renting it out or selling it on, which means that you're always doing something for someone else to live in, basically. Whereas this is the first project I've worked on that was actually going to be something for myself. So yeah, we might have splashed a bit here and there and really built something that we wanted, as this is going to be a long-term home for us. So yes, I'm going to go through 5 features in my kitchen that we've put in that you might think are a little bit OTT, but actually I guarantee you by the end of this video, you're going to be like, hey, yeah, I love this. I want one of these. So the first thing is my Kalo wine cooler, which we've actually had built in to our kitchen table. So here it is at the end over here. Now you can have these built into your kitchen island. You can have it built into a kitchen worktop. I've seen people build in their Kalos into bathrooms. You could pretty much put this where you want to put it. Now what's great about a built-in wine cooler, of course, you don't actually have to use it for wine. You can use it for whatever cool drink that you want to. This is designed not necessarily to have a bottle that you bring in from the shop that's warm and you put it in here to cool it down. Yes, it does that. But the perfect trick to this is you take out a bottle from your fridge, so it's already nice and chilled, and then you can pop it into the wine cooler and it will keep it at that exact temperature. Because I guess the problem often is, isn't it? Like we'll have friends round, we'll sit around my dining table here, and you find that you're constantly either running back and forward to the fridge, or B, you are drinking one great glass of really fresh, cool wine, which is the first glass. But by the time you get to the end of the bottle, if you've left it out on the table, it's not tasting so good, is it? That also means that you can not only put in a lovely rosé like I've done, or a white wine, but it will also keep red wines to that same temperature that you've put it in there at as well. So if you like your red wines just a little bit cooler, then you can set it to red wine mode. If you want to really cool down a bottle, you can set it to boost mode. So bada bing, bada boom, the perfect glass of wine this gives me. And let's face it, it looks like such a fun feature, doesn't it? And then the fitting, like you can see here, you can either have that in curved. We've gone for curved. You can have it flush. You can have it undermounted as well. And it's available in loads of different colors. So we've gone for the matte black. As you can see, our kitchen is quite dark anyway. So a lot of our features are in that matte black. So that is the color that we decided to go for. But I just love it as a feature. And it's definitely one of those wow factor things. Like if we have people round for drinks, people are always like, what is this? Tell me more. I need to. And no, you don't have to have this built into like a brand new surface. It doesn't mean you'd have to get like a whole new kitchen island or worktop. You can have it built into any existing surface as well. It just so happens that we did this when it was new. All you need is the hole, like to cut the hole for it. And you need a plug socket nearby because that is what powers it. But I'll show you what it looks like underneath. So you can see the fitting and where we've put it in under the table. So just on the side here is the vent, exactly like you have with a fridge. So just think of this as literally like a mini fridge. It's about the size, I'm trying to look through it so that you can get an idea, but it's about the size of like an A4 bit of paper. We've just had this built in underneath our table to make it look like it's part of the feature, which is another idea of what you could do. But you don't have to do that. It does actually come like it's quite a thin little slip. So you don't have to have something this big or cut a hole that is this big. But that's kind of what we did under here. But it is about the size of like an A4 bit of paper that you do need to think about that sits under that. And then obviously the fact that it lights up in loads of different colours is just a great fun feature, isn't it? The second feature that I absolutely love in our new home is my hot water tap. Now, you've probably seen loads of these around. I feel like they are such a trending thing, aren't they? But little did I know that actually they don't just do boiling water. They do filtered water. You can get sparkling water as well. So cool. And then I guess the biggest thing with these, people often worry about safety or like how a kid's like not burning themselves on it. How easy is it to accidentally turn it on? But I guess that's the whole point. We've gone for a cooker tap. So I can only speak for, that brand, but there's lots of different brands that are out there. They've got the feature where you double push this down. So this is where what turns on the hot water. And to get the hot water on, it's very hard to accidentally do it because you have to double tap and twist. And then you get your hot water coming out, which is so fabulous. So that's to get the hot water. I love it. Also, do know, fun fact, that we spend, I think it's 4 months of our life waiting for a kettle to boil. But did you see how quick that was? So it's such a time saver. And also you can see behind us here that I've gone completely minimalist in our kitchen. So I don't have to have a kettle on the side. There's no toaster on the side. I basically wanted to limit as much stuff out on the bench as I could. So this is a great way to do that. That's not obviously how you turn on the normal water. You've got your normal tap on the side as well. In fact, they've just launched a new one that's actually got the control at the front of the tap, which I think is a pretty genius idea as well. And they come in loads of different colours. So we went for, this is called rose copper because it actually matches our splashback and our worktop. This is from a company called Decton, which I just love. It's called Laurent. We actually saw this in a showroom and went into another kitchen showroom and saw the exact same Decton. And I was like, it's a sign, we need to have it. So that's why we picked this rose copper. Obviously, I love pink as well. So Luke, my boyfriend, didn't have much say in what colour tap we were getting. Love it. And then if you want to get the filtered water, you hold it down for 3 seconds. It lights up blue. And then you turn it and you've got a nice glass of filtered water. What it also does as well, safety-wise, is once, so like the cold water's obviously been on, but if I put the hot water back on and then I turn it off again, it stays on red for quite a while. So if someone else was coming near the tap, they'd know that it was previously on the hot water. Not that it makes a difference. Like I can turn the tap on now and put my hand under it because it's not the boiling water. Yeah, so many features. We've gone for the Flex model, which means that you get the added addition of being able to pull this out and then clean up your sink using a little inbuilt hose. Genius! My third kitchen feature that I'm absolutely loving is our LED lights. When I was telling you about the taps, you might have seen them here underneath the cabinets. We've got 4 lots of LEDs, I think, around. There might be 5. No, I think we've got 4 or 5. Here underneath these cabinets, we've got it underneath our work surface on our kitchen island. We've got it here. This is like a pull-up. You can see there's an LED right at the top, which adds quite a nice feature. And behind me here on these bits of shelves as well. So they are all connected together and are on one control. So this is my little control behind me here. Very minimalist again. So we could have had them set up as like 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually we put them all on one control because I thought you're either going to have your LEDs on or you're not. So it's so easy. I can literally just go off and you'll see behind me that they've gone off. And then you can see down here, you'll be able to see the lights come back on when I just clickety click and on they come. And I love them. I think actually lighting has been something that I've massively overlooked over the years for just creating a bit of a calming aesthetic, a bit of ambience. You can change the mood completely with lighting, and particularly through the use of LEDs as well. I feel like I never have our main lights on at the top. I've either got our chandelier on over here, or I just sometimes will put the LEDs on because I just think it's a less like full on in your face light, really. And you don't have to have them like we've gone for warm white, but you can have bright white, you can have natural light as well. And although we actually got these inbuilt, so they aren't strips of LED, they're like proper LEDs inbuilt. But there are so many quick fixes out there. Even when I was in IKEA the other day, they've got strips of LEDs that you can literally just attach, and then you can still have them controlled by a remote. Some of them you can plug in, some are battery operated. So there's so many options to just be able to add LEDs super quickly into your design. LEDs are also pretty energy efficient. In fact, they consume less electricity, they heat up less as well. You know how sometimes from normal bulbs you can get that kind of that heat that comes from them. You don't get that with LEDs at all. Like I can touch these and they're not hot whatsoever. So loads of benefits to having LED lights, and that's another fun feature of my kitchen that I'm loving. Okay, and then to bring you round the other side of our kitchen, behind me on our stairs, we've actually got LEDs that go up the stairs. So they are motion censored. There you go. There they are coming on. And you find that a lot of LED lighting is set up in that way so that it's on as a bit of a motion sensor, and you can have it in places like en suites, in landings, in stairwells, so that when you're walking past that space, maybe in the middle of the night, that it will just light your way and light up as you walk past it. So these are on what's called a PIR system. It's at the bottom of the stairs down here. We've also got one at the top of the stairs. And again, not only is it practical and kind of a safety thing, I guess, as well, if you're getting up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and you need light to guide your way, but you don't want like blaring spotlights at you. Such a good thing. We've got these in our bathrooms as well. So when you walk into our bathrooms, it lights up under the cabinet and around the mirror. And again, you don't have to go out and buy like all new things. You can get stair lights that can actually stick onto the treads of the stairs that are just little strips. So easy. So it's not like you need to go out of your way to build, start from the beginning or start from scratch to actually be able to use LED features in your home. The fourth design feature that I'm loving in my kitchen is our pull down shutter. Now, this is such a storage solution that we love. And in fact, before I show you in it, this is a really great time to highlight the fact that there's a huge difference between just going to buy a kitchen that is a standard kitchen. It's how it comes. There's no kind of personalization or customization. That works for certain things, absolutely. When I do my development projects, that's very much the route that I'm going down. But when you're creating a bespoke kitchen that is to fit a certain space and really designed around you, it's so good to be actually able to go and get a proper kitchen design. Because a lot of kitchen places will say, oh, we do kitchen design, but that's just throwing in the products that they have into a system that tells you this is how your kitchen's going to be. We went to a company called Kitchen House and actually sat down with a design team to design our kitchen. And that's why we've got so many kind of quirky, unique features that we've been able to incorporate and really build it around us and the way that we're going to use our kitchen, because we're all different, right? We all use our spaces in different ways. Different things are important to different people. In fact, when we built the kitchen, we did have to make some alterations because obviously we're building this for us, but you want to future-proof it at the same time, because kitchens, bathrooms, they're so expensive, aren't they, to throw money at if you need to change something. So we really did want to go in with the thinking that if we did ever rent this, if we did ever sell it, it made sense for people. And realistically, it's a family home. Families need a lot of storage space, right? So we actually had to add in fact, I'll show you, we added in a pull-out pantry on the end here. Because, they reminded us you're going to need so much storage space, or maybe we won't, but certainly if we rented this, if we sold it, it's key to have storage. So again, this is why we put in something like this. Brilliant idea if you're doing a bar or like want a coffee station in your kitchen. And it's a nice, neat way to hide it away. So this is actually glass. They come in different colors as well. You can have the silver, like proper chef's kitchen pull down if you wanted. But we went for black tinted glass. And it slides all the way up. So hiding in behind here, we have our coffee machine. We've got all our coffee pods. We've hidden a toaster in there. And then we've got all our mugs and all our glasses. So we've used this as a bit of a bar and a little bit of a coffee station. And I absolutely love it. And then, of course, you can make all the mess in there or have things that you'd normally have out on your worktop, like the coffee machine, like the toaster, but then pull this down and hide it all away. And my fifth favourite feature of my kitchen has got to be our dishwasher. I know that sounds so basic, but sometimes it's the smallest things that bring the biggest joy, right? We've just had bank holiday and I can't tell you how much I used the dishwasher. And I feel like, I know this sounds really cheesy, but it literally meant that I got to spend more time chatting outside with my family because I'd loaded the dishwasher and I could put that on rather than having to stand at my sink and wash everything up. So bringing families together, the dishwasher. But honestly, I've never lived with a dishwasher before. This is the first time in my life that I've actually had a dishwasher. And now I see why everyone is obsessed with it. And it's not just that. I know we were talking about like quirky features, weren't we? But our dishwasher, when this is on, this might be a really common thing with dishwashers, but like I said, I'm a newbie to the dishwasher world. When it's on, it shines a light down onto the floor that tells me how long it's got left and how far it is through the cycle. Brilliant, genius. How many times, like I go to people's homes for a living, right? When I'm out of my property finding clients, how many times I've opened a dishwasher and it's been on, like, I just feel like this is genius. Like I said, a lot of dishwashers may already have that feature. This was I think it's Bosch, our appliances. Yeah, all our appliances are Bosch. Yeah. Genius. So there you go. That's been my top 5 features in my kitchen, but I would love to hear about the features in your kitchen that you cannot live without, or something fun and quirky that you've put into your kitchen that you're like, people need to know about this. This is a game changer. It's a life hack. So please do leave your comments below. Like I said, I'm always doing development, so I might want to feature some of your suggestions in my next project for sure. And I hope you've enjoyed watching all these little bits about my kitchen. I've got loads more where that came from. Like I said, my name's Lexie Carducci. I've been doing a 23-week renovation on my new home. So there's loads of tips, tricks, fails, and finished products that I'm going to be bringing you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and like and share with people. Because here at the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel, we're of course sharing loads of different tips and tricks and information and advice from loads of experts across the field. It's basically like the Ideal Home Show when you go to one of our actual shows in person, but we can bring it to you literally 24/7. And it really does help if you share a video or you know a friend that's like, hey, they're going to love this video, or we were chatting about that in our group chat the other day. Please do share it with your friends, and we will be back with another video soon.